Thank you and good morning to everyone. Coming here, I had Richard, thank you too for introducing and for hosting this CEO forum. And when Richard asked me to speak before you guys, I didn't know what it was all about. I said, yes, I'd like to share our company's vision, what we have, what we've been doing, but I really did not know the audience. Now I know I have faces to the names that have been bruited about. But I had one condition. They wanted me to speak before you in your usual venue, which are the hotels. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, you couldn't find any hotel at this time. All hotels are fully booked. So I said, why won't we have it in our Alpha tents? Because this is our headquarters, this is what we are. So I just want to speak to you as casually as possible. I know that you're all in a hurry to go back to work, to make a living. And you're all here because we also want to meet other people, to network, and that's what this is all about. And I'd like to share with you our vision, the direction of Alpha Land, for a few minutes. I know that Richard wants me to speak for 30 minutes. I'd like to speak to you, I'd like to tell you about our projects, but also I'd like a question and answer, an open forum after this, so that you could ask us about our vision, our direction, the projects that we have. First of all, I'd like to thank Charmaine Wang, also who has been properly introduced, one of our main tenants in the building. And also my friend there, Archie Bartolome, who, thank you for coming. I just hope that you came not because of the breakfast, but because you wanted to hear me speak, Archie. Okay, so as casual as possible, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you the story of Alpha Land. Alpha Land was born 5 years ago when my chairman, Bobby Umpin, who has been my mentor since in the early 80s, asked me to come and head a company, a real property company. That was 5 years ago. He says, babes, let's come and do it. We have a new player in the property business, and this is Ashmore Fund. Ashmore is UK-based and has 60 billion in investable funds. I said, Bobby, what are we going to do? You know, I'm doing my own affordable housing now. And he says, let's do the projects that we could not do before because we did not have the resources to do it. I said, that's very exciting. I'd like to do that. So just in time, when my son Quinto came from the States from business school, he wanted to run my company. So I said, okay, you run that. I'll go to Alpha Land and do the things that I've always wished I could do. Now that I have the partner, the financial partners for it, then I'm happy to do it for Bobby and for us. So that's the story of Alpha Land. So when we started off, Bobby said, what are we going to start with? We have the money, we have the resources, what are we going to do? I said, if we're just going to build another building on Legazpi Village, all of you are familiar with that, or Salcedo Village, then it doesn't make sense. If they say, what is the building of Alpha Land? I'd say it's number 1222 Legazpi Street or whatever. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make an impact. So we saw this building. It was, if you guys were born already, you would know that this building was an eyesore. It was the first building that you would see coming into the financial district of the Philippines. And it's so depressing because you're an investor coming from the airport. This is the first edifice that you'll see. A dilapidated, abandoned, and decrepit building. So what would you say? So Bobby said, let's buy that, babes. So I said, okay, we'll try. Because it has been there for what, 30 years? This used to be the Silverio building, the headquarters of the Silverio group of companies. So I said, who owns it now? Happens to be one of my friends, Ed Puyat Reyes. So we negotiated. And we agreed on a price. And I paid him cash for it because the money was not coming from me, it was coming from Ashmore. And we built, I think, a landmark in this area of Makati. And I was telling the now Vice President and the former Mayor of Makati, I said, you should be grateful to us because we are developing the skyline of Makati. I am not doing this only for our company. I'm also doing this for Makati. So the old dilapidated building is now a spanking new building that we have here. And we're enjoying the tents, which is our events place here in Alpha Land Southgate. This is our first project. As you can see, we had 20 floors. We did not go down in price. You real estate brokers there would know. At that time, when we opened it, our headline price was 650 per square meter. Everyone was doing 350. But we said, no, we will stick to our price because we cannot go down. Alorica's here, we negotiated with them. Teleperformance negotiated with us. I stuck to my price of 650 and here we are now, fully booked at 650. So I said, the real estate business is really booming in this country. You just cannot give up. You have to fight for something that you believe in. And I believe in our project, and I believe in Alpha Land Southgate Tower. So that was the first project of Alpha Land. We have restaurants here on the second floor. We have the Alpha, we have the Ukiyo. Alpha is Billy King. We have the Ukiyo and we have the Tabacalera Cigar Divan. You know, any of you guys who would like to pass by and have a single malt and a cigar, and a good cigar. Our chairman also owns Tabacalera, incidentally, with Robert Kwok, the head of the Shangri-La Group. So, that was our first project. And then he said, what other projects can we do? We still have money. So what other projects can we do? So, the only big property left in Makati at that time was the Boy Scouts. I don't know if you remember this, guys. This was the Sime Darby property on Malugay, beside the Zwillig properties. So it was owned by the Boy Scouts of the Philippines under Vice President Binay. I negotiated with them on a joint venture. They did not want to sell. They just wanted to develop the property. So we entered into a joint venture, and we started doing it, and we are building the Alpha Land Makati Place. The Alpha Land Makati Place has a 5-story, 5-level parking, and then a 3-level mall, high-end mall, where we have the likes of Rustan's Fresh, True Value, and all those guys coming in. Now, on the 4th, 5th, and 6th, we have what we call the City Club. We envision this club because we want to give middle executives a club that they can call their own. You know, the clubs that we have right now are the Polo Club, which is very, very expensive. The Manila Golf, which is also very expensive. But for people who are starting out, people who are in the vice presidential level or whatever, upper middle management, they'd like a club that they can call their own. And on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th floors, we've developed this club. We have everything that you can think of. Everything that Manila Polo Club has, except the horses. And you can just imagine that everyone who would like to spend some time, have a drink, do karaoke, have your hair fixed, do some work before you go home, and